and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while, obviously nothing much going on to report. Today is the 22nd of March, it's about midday and currently the temperature is 21.4 degrees. Now obviously I've seen a lot of Facebook groups where people are now unwrapping their bananas and it's a hit or miss thing. I did it a week later last year. I did it at the end of March and I had to throw my fleece over a couple of nights. Just looked at the 10-day forecast and there's no zeros, there's no frost predicted. My big concern is whether or not I leave them wrapped up too long and they may get some fungus or they may get rotted. But they should be breathable. The fiberglass stuff I use, the wrap should be breathable, and obviously the fleeces are breathable. So what I did yesterday is I unwrapped my Sikkimensis, which is the Bengal tiger. That was in the pot and that was under this canopy all winter. I unwrapped it actually yesterday to see what's going on because I was a bit concerned that it could be rotting with some kind of fungus. There's old leaves in there. It was a bit squidgy yesterday. I've had a go, it's all a bit firm, it's all firm. I just chopped the top off and it's all green inside, so that's obviously okay. So I've just wheeled it out. It's a warm day. I don't know if it's going to rain today, but rainwater's good. But we just throw some rubbish in there so it just rots. So that looks like it's okay. That's the Bengal tiger. I said it's my first year with this. I got it last spring as a little pup from someone who obviously sells them, so yes, this is my first winter. So I wrapped them up as I have done, as you saw in my previous video. I just cut the top off a bit, and there's green in the middle, and it's not so squidgy right now. It's firmed up a bit, but I was a bit concerned with this mole. I didn't know it's a fungus growing. So I've got it out today again. So what else is going on? Well, if I just stand back a bit. Yeah, it's been a while, isn't it? Winter's 5-6 months long. Obviously the tiki bar is still wrapped up and stuff. The big pots, as you can see, I've just lined them up. I was just having a collection of what pots I've got. I've got these 3 big pots, which the middle one is 92 litres. So one's not on wheels, but I did buy a little wheel caster here to put them on because they're blinking heavy once you put dirt in it. That is on wheels, but I like shopping trolleys. You push one way and they go another, but at least it's movable. So yeah, the tiki bar and stuff is just like the seating. The seating is still wrapped up. And what have we here? We have all the stuff ready. What I did over the last few months is that I've emptied all these pots because I had my cannas in them, and the cannas, I said, I got the virus. So I read on Facebook, one of the groups, that you should remove all the old dirt and disinfect the pots. Now I've moved all the old dirt over a period of time. I've disinfected these pots several times, so they're all ready to be planted again. Hence my my packets of John Innes and multi-purpose compost and some soil improver. That's what I did last year. So obviously I'm going to put them along this side, which is south facing. Right now I've got some pots with little covers on. There are little cannas in there. I'm basically following the same process as I did last year. Bought some bamboo. These are the Nagra, the black bamboo. There's somebody who's selling them quite cheap. I thought I'll have a go. I know they're runners, so they're going to be in pots. They will be in pots all the time. I'll put on bigger pots as time goes on, but they could be a bit of screening. I can put them in front of the kitchen window when they get bigger, but I thought there's some dead branches there, but I thought I'd just leave it. Been in pots like for now, I think 2 weeks I've been in the pots. I repotted them. We've had a bit of a heat wave last week. If you're in the UK, I think last week one of the days got to 20, but they've been pretty high. I've just looked, they're pretty high over the next 10 days at least, with the evening temperatures being pretty warm as well. I'm not concerned about the bamboo really. So what else have I doing? I've cut the corners out, corner 1 and corner 2 over there, like I did at the top or the bottom of the garden. I'm going to put my Cordlines. So I've got 2 Cordlines in these pots. I think they're getting a bit big now. So my plan is to put them in the corners. I would love to put a big trekkie there or something, but this alleyway has a lot of wind and the leaves will just get battered. So I'm just going to put the Cordlines there and the Cordline over there. That's my plan. I said I've just cut out over the last month or two, 6 weeks odd, I've cut the corners out. What else can I show you what's new? Nothing else is new on this side. Oh, my canariensis, my canary day palm is wrapped up. I haven't unwrapped that or anything just yet. The reason I'm leaving that alone is that I think I've had 4 over the last 2 years. This is the only one that survived, so we shall see what that looks like later on. It's under a canopy, but the others are under a canopy as well, so I can't see that pushing out anything from the sides. On this side, the north facing side, I've got the standard spider's web, Japonica spider's web. I've got a Hosta there, which I don't know what it is. There is some growth growing in there. Rhododendron, which I've had for many years. That post needs to be replaced because it's a bit wobbly in the storms we had. It hasn't fallen down, but needs replacing. So it leads me to the middle aisle. Right, so I've come to the middle aisle and Crocosmias are poking through. That gap there was where I had a Canna, but I dug it out. And over this side I had a Canna and I dug it out. Here we have the Persicaria Red Dragon. I've left them to their own devices. It's a bit mushy right now, but there is some growth in there. Everything else hasn't taken off yet. I've got some Lilies in there and I've got some Salvias in there. In fact, the Salvias I can see are just starting to, Salvia's amethyst is just starting to poke through, I can see. But the Crocosmias are poking through already. So this trekkie, all these palms have been in the ground for 2 years now. So this trekkie is fine, it's going, fronds are coming out. Okay, I don't know what that fern is, but it's doing alright. This is the Persicaria Purple Fantasy. I left that there, they've got runners over here, that's okay. And underneath here, there's loads of runners underneath there as well. Don't mind that. So the Crocosmias are poking through. The large Lilies I had haven't started yet, it's too early. This Cordline's doing fine, the ferns underneath. This is the B&M famous £150 palm, trekkie, Fortunei. I know there's a bit snobby around these, but I've had no issues at all. I've been in the ground, they're growing, and they're growing nicely. See, pushing out new fronds all the time now. That's settled in. Obviously a banana here, and a banana there. So if I go to the back, Cordline's doing fine. It's got the rust on it, doesn't get too much sun on that side. So we've got another trekkie over here which is doing as fine as it will do because it doesn't get a great deal of sun on this side. Japonica, standard Japonicas there and there are doing fine. I just walk over here. That's my Yucca Rostrata, which I got 2 years ago when it was looking a bit rough. It's doing fine there. It's growing nicely. It was a winter damaged a couple of years ago. I think it got caught in all the water and the rain and stuff. I will tidy the dead leaves up on the Japonica, again on the bananas. Here's several bananas there, I believe. Salvias haven't come through here yet on this side. This is my Waggy, doing okay there, no problem. Got new growth coming up. That is a Sikkimensis Bengal tiger there. Cordline at the back. Cordlines there. Ferns are okay, I keep cutting them back. This trekkie, Fortunei again, is doing fine there, pushing out new growth all the time. It's on a raised bed, this one. Obviously it's yellow because they're not getting the sunshine, the sun, the warmth, no feeding. So, but other than that, it's just okay, it's doing okay. If anything's doing better than the others, is this Waggy. If you look back at my videos, even 18 months ago, this was so small. It really likes this spot. This side here gets a lot of sunshine. It really likes this spot. And the back wrapped up is a Sikkimensis again, Bengal tiger. Got it last spring, so it's my first winter. I've got if I just walk in there, some more Fortunei here. But I said this Waggy's really doing well. As you can see with my hand on this Waggy, this is new growth, pushing out new growth all the time. back here, if I just walk past here, that's 2 years, very small when I got them. That's a twin head Fortunei, another Trachy. Obviously this is a Cordline. I've got some Lilies in it to give it colour. They haven't come through yet. So another Japonica over there, standard Japonica. I'm standing on another twin head Trachy Fortunei there. They're different colours on the leaves, I think. I believe got caught in the winter and it's just pushed through. Got no concerns of there. And another Trachy over here, Fortunei, doing very well. This corner gets a lot of sun, so they're all doing very well. Another Cordline with the rust spots on it. Yeah, so that's what the garden looks like now. I think Thursday was the first day of spring, or was it Friday? I can't remember. I think it's Thursday when we had a heat wave. It's 20 degrees it was. That would have been an ideal day to unwrap the bananas, but I was working. So I've got a bit of time today and tomorrow. It is warm. I did do it a week later last year, but when I look at the fleeces, it looks like things are trying to poke through the top. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Certainly on this one here, it looks like it wants to poke through, and that one looks like it's to poke through. So I mean, you know, you take all this time and care to wrap them up for 5 months. But I'm a bit worried that maybe it's like this Sikkimensis over here. I don't know if that's some kind of fungi that could be growing on it because it was wrapped up too long, maybe. As you can see, there's some fluidy things coming out here. But to be honest with you, it's all firm. Yes, it was a bit squidgy, but now it's all firm. So it says it's 22 degrees. So it's 12, it's 22 degrees. Sun's coming out. It's supposed to have a little some rain. So I am going to unwrap the bananas because I've got time to do it this weekend. I obviously trying to do it at work at the same time, and next weekend is Mother's Day weekend. I'm going to go visit my mum. Her grave's actually in London, so that'll be where I'm spending my time next weekend, so I won't have time there. And after that, unfortunately, I'm going to hospital, so what I'll do is I'll do it today. I'll keep the fleeces out. That's exactly what I did last year, and if it gets really cold, I'll throw them over. But these are 2 years old, so they should be okay, robust. I don't know if that's the word, but the Sikkimensis, they're not. They only got them last spring, so this is their first winter. So I'm going to go in and what one shall I do first? Well, I think I'll do this one here because it's the closest. This had several pups. I've tried to take some pups here, so let's see, shall we? So I've taken off 2 fleeces, the bubble wrap on the top. I'm left with these 2 pups and the main one, and this one has come undone. This one feels a bit squidgy, but it's firm on the ground, it's solid. I'll just cut that back a bit. Just see what these pups look like. So these were the 3 pups. I've unwrapped them. They're solid. They are solid, they're not going anywhere. A bit soft at the top. I cut back the soft bits, but they're all hard and firm at the bottom. Actually also looks like my Colocasia pink chinas are budding there, because I had some there. They're the runners from the pink china. So I just need to trim them, tidy them up, but so far okay. These were last year's pups. I said these are still standing and they're solid. There's a bit squidgy on the top. I've just cut the back there, make sure they're all green. And so out of them 3 pups I used, that's the insulation that I used, and the fleeces so far, a bit of bubble wrap and string wire. So they're the 3 so far. So this is the main one. This has been in the ground now for 2 years. This is second winter. These pups are obviously from last spring, last summer. Actually, this one here, I forgot. This one is a Sikkimensis, actually another Bengal tile. I just remembered that. So this is the big one, and it's really, really firm. It's really firm, and it's about 5 foot tall right now. You can see it was trying to poke through. And the other pup around the side here, obviously tried to poke through. That's all nice and solid. Dry out a bit today in the sun, and I tidied it up a bit. just find the green bits. But again, the great thing that I found with this installation is that I can store this in the garage and use them next year. I'll let them dry out first. Last year I found things were living in them, but not so far yet. But you can use these next year. With the hay or straw, it's what to do afterwards. You know, what do you do with it? Just take it to the tip. Can you take them to the tip? I have no idea. So, but this I can store them and use them next year. There's no real mess. They seem to work. It worked last year. It seemed so far. So that's 2 years old now. That's just the second winter. And it's really sturdy. That's a pup from last year. Another pup, but this is a Sikkimensis on that. So yeah, so far so good. So that one's about 5 foot tall. So that's the second row, and that mother one, the top one, that's over 6 foot tall right now, and it was trying to poke through. The pup here was trying to poke through. The pup here from last year was definitely trying to poke through. This one was trying to poke through. They're all solid, except for there's a little one right down the bottom here, which I didn't really wrap up too well. That's gone, so I'll cut that down to the base, and it'll probably pop up somewhere else. But that one there didn't really didn't get on. But I didn't really wrap that up too well. It's just under some kind of cover, but it's probably too young. But these are last spring, last summer's pups. Popped up, they're all good. The main one, the mother one, that's 6 foot tall, that one. And this one is 5 foot with its pups. Apart from that Sikkimensis, that one over there. So what am I left with? I'm left with obviously my installation, fiberglass information. It's made out of plastic bottles actually, or fiberglass, sorry. Bits of fleece bags, lots of wires and strings. These are all getting aired out. Excuse me, these are all getting aired out now because they're all a bit damp. But they don't retain it because they're plastic, so they don't retain the moisture. But just drying them out, and I can use these for next year. I've got storage in the garage. So that's all for that middle bit, and these are very large bags. So I'll keep the bags out in case there's a drop in temperature. There's a bee there trying to find something. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to follow it, but I don't know if you're catching it. There's a bee there trying to find some pollen, I reckon. But anyway, so all this is left over, which I can use again. It's just drying out. I was looking up in the sky. I don't know. It could rain. Big clouds over there, but natural rain is good. I'll just tidy this up a bit before I start on the back, because it'll get too much otherwise. So I just tidied that up. Some of the soft stuff I'll cut back. So it's got a nice fresh start. But yes, I think it looks like, so far, touch wood, everything's okay. I said if it does, temperature does drastically change, I can just slip one of these very large bags over them to protect it a bit. But that mother one, the two big ones here, they've been in the ground for this is their second winter, so they should take something. The pups, this is their first winter, but that one there is quite big, It's the biggest out of all the pups actually. The base is quite big, and you see the base on the mother one here. It's really large. And I said that was definitely trying to grow at the top, pushing through that pup there. That one couldn't go any further. That one couldn't go any further. So yeah, so I just got to tidy up all this before I start on the back of the garden. Otherwise, if it does start raining, I've got to be left trying to rush. So I'll catch you in just a sec. Actually, what I will do, I will unwrap this canary date palm and see what that looks like. It is under a canopy. I can throw a bag over if it gets too cold again. As I've done some of the bananas, I might as well do this. See if it's browned off. Actually, before it was wrapped up, it was showing a lot of new growth. So let's see. So I used the same system as I did with the bananas. I used this insulation and 2 fleeces. Wrap the thongs together so they don't poke you in the eye. And well, so far looks alright. Got some new growth in there, which was happening anyway last year, but you don't know really until later on. Obviously got some damage here. I don't know how, but it did. So I wonder, because it takes a while for it to show any damage. But this was my 4th one. I had some 2 very large ones, but they died. So I thought I'd give this a go. It is on wheels, it's easy to move around because it's quite heavy, the pot. I can wheel it around in and out under the canopy. And let's see how this one does. Obviously, in summertimes, if it throws out more new growth or dies back, but it looks okay compared to what the others look like after winter. So it's got some nice green, but it started to grow end of last summer actually. I'm pulling the middle, there's nothing pulling out. You can see some new growth going in there. Okay, nothing's pulling there. Oh, okay. Seems to be okay so far, touch wood. So I gave them a quick tidy up. It's too wet to cut these little straggly bits, but I cut the floppy bits, go back to the green, and they're all sort of green or just slightly green. So yeah, I have to wait and see really, not much I can say. I'll keep an eye out for the temperatures, but it should be okay for the next week, 10 days anyway. And I've put away all the stuff, so everything's over there. So if anything drastic changed, I've got the fleeces at hand. Again, repeating myself, I'm following the same thing as I did last year. So yeah, so that one is, the biggest one is, tallest one rather, is 6 foot. Second one is 5 foot. These have been there in the ground, this is their second winter, and they're really thick at the bottom and they're really sturdy. No squidgy bits. The rest pups are all from last year. So the last year's pups. Apart from that, that's the Sikkimensis Bengal tiger, that one there. It was actually leaning this way towards me, if you remember the videos from last year, because I think it got crowded out with stuff. But it's firm. I just cut back a bit, a squodgy bit, gone to a nice firm green bit, see what happens. I'm not too sure if it's going to rain. If it rains, I suppose it's okay. I may just give it a dab of some bone meal, maybe a scratch around, maybe give it a bit of a little feed, not too much maybe. Don't really start feeding these till later, so but maybe they need a little bit of boost. I haven't done these yet because I'm not too sure what the weather's going to be like. But I'll take a little break now, move these little pebbles because I want to put the feed down there. But I can't see any other pups trying to get out, apart from the pink chinas are trying to get out. Salvias aren't doing much there yet. The lilies are giant lilies, they're not doing anything just yet, till a bit too early. But over there, I think, there is some amisters, Salvia amisters, trying to poke their way through. They're 2 years old. The other salvias are a year old. So, yeah, so it's handy to have that little gazebo there, because I can store things right now. All that white insulation I just bunged in here, keep it dry. And the fleece and the bubble wrap's all underneath there right now. And yeah, so this is going back to my canary day palm. I can wrap that up pretty easily if weather's change. I'll probably give that a bit of a drink, I think. The rain don't really go underneath there, but I think I'll give it a little bit of drink to help it along. I won't feed it. And these pots, I put 2 there already. They're empty right now, but that's what all these compost is all for the cannas, a new range of cannas I got. Because last year I said they all suffered from the virus, and I had to get rid of all the soil, disinfect the pots, dig out the old plants, which I won't replant cannas back in there, plant something else to just give it some colour. So yeah, so this bamboo, never wanted bamboo. My next door neighbour over here had bamboo. I don't know where it's all got to, but somebody was selling this really cheap. I'm not too sure how healthy that one actually is. It's been in that pot, I think, 2 weeks. That one looks much healthier. I did give it a feed, that's the water there. I did give it a feed to help it on its way. It's in the sun. When the sun comes out, I'm not really a bamboo person, but it doesn't look too happy. I don't know. Maybe it'll just grow. They were also selling another one, much taller, but I couldn't get it in the car. So I can just have it at the front here for the window or something, or maybe at the front here, some screening. I thought I'd give it a go. It's never my intention to buy bamboo, but I thought I'd give it a go. And I know they're runners, so I need to keep them in pots. I'm not going to put them in the ground. If that one dies, it dies. Come see, come saw, you know. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it's a £5. I think they're a £5 each actually. £10 for 2. So he had a big one for £10, but I couldn't get it in the car. it looked like that one much healthier. This one doesn't look too healthy, I don't know. I'm not a bamboo person, haven't really looked into bamboo. The only thing I knew was about bamboos, they're runners or clumpers, and this is definitely a runner. But anyway, just see what happens really, put them in big pots. If they obviously survive and they do well, obviously I'll increase the pots. I'm not going to put them in the ground. So that's it for time being. Do I start at the back there or not? They definitely need airing out, I think, the bananas, because I'm worried about whether or not they'll get anything growing on them, mould or something. Because I was concerned about this one over here. This Sikkimensis had sort of like black stuff, but it feels solid. In fact, it feels much solid. I've been out for a day. It's dripping on me now. But it is green on top, so it has to work its way through. And that's just old leaves, old fruit we put there to rot down to help it along. There should be in there also a pink china somewhere underneath all there. I haven't seen any sign of it yet, but I haven't really dug through there. But it's in a big pot on wheels. I know they don't do as well in pots as opposed to being in the ground. I thought I'd give it a go in a pot, because at the back there, when I dig into it, I come across the old roots of the conifers I had. They're really thick, and then the ground's really hard. There's builders' rubble there from the builders when they built this. It was a bit difficult. I don't have anything particularly to break up the hard core, apart from just a hammer. I don't have any special tools. As I would like to have had, maybe if I had a banana in this corner there, the wind, it comes down this alley bit, would just blow the leaves to bits, or just shreds. Over there it doesn't get as much sun over that side, so it does far better with the sun. I've got to put the Cordlines there, which won't do as well because it's not in sun, but it's in the corner, because these Cordlines are going to get too big for these pots. And these were repotted. I repotted these, I think 2 years ago. And they're doing well. There's no rust on. There's a little bit of rust on them, but they're doing all well. You can see all the new growth there. They seem to like it there, but I've got to be careful of the when you plant them. But I've replanted these before, so I've got an idea. Anyways, that's what's happening in my little garden right now. I said this time of year things are popping up, as the Crocosmias are. And yeah, we shall see. I'll see if we do the back later on. So it's only 1:30, so I made the decision to have a go at unwrapping the bananas at the back. Why not indeed, eh? I've got the time right now. I won't have a time come this sort of time again for over a week, so I'll do it now. It's 22 degrees. It may rain, I don't know, but I'm sort of in the mood, if that makes any sense. So let's see what's underneath them covers, shall we? As you can see with this one, it's got one main adult banana, and I think it's got 5 pups. So the pups were from last year, and this is the second winter for the other main banana. And you can see things are popping up from the top. So I've taken the fleece off. It was double fleeced in a big bag to cover the whole lot. Now it's this insulation. So they're growing from the top already. So that's the main one, and 5 pups. So the main one's been there second winter. These obviously pups came from last summer, and they're all firm and they're all nice. They've got big, the bases are really thick and they're really sturdy. Obviously some things were poking up. I'll cut them back and just tidy them up, but everything else seems fine. There's even a little pup growing. In fact, there's a couple of little pups already growing at the bottom. So yeah, I can see some snails actually on the pseudosym there, but yeah, so I just tidied where it's been growing, tidied back a bit, so it doesn't stop any new rollers coming out, but everything looks fine. And this is what's left. Now it's not an issue because I can use this next year, which is what I did. All this was from last year as well, although I had to add extra because I had some more bananas than I did the previous year. But this will get stored in once I dry these out, which are pretty quick. I'll store it in the garage. And a couple of big fleeces, so one big bag, another big bag, that covered the whole 5. So the next is that one there. Well, this one I just unwrapped the Sikkimensis, and I know they're not as hardy. It's a bit soft on the top, it's firm down the bottom, so I'll cut that back to where it's firm. But it wrapped it the same as the others, but it's not didn't do as well. But it's only this is its first winter, and there's no sign of anything underneath, I don't think. So I'll tidy that one up and go back to where it's hard. It's obviously tried to grow. So the next one is over there. Shall we move on? So I reckon the smallest one over is probably 3 foot, then it goes to 6 foot, and probably 4 and 5 foot. So you've got 3, 4, 5 and 6, I reckon is the height of those. As you can see, I've taken away all the stuff out of the garden, and I'll tidy these up. I'll find the green bits where they've been trying to poke through. I'll tidy that one over there up. It's not doing as well, but it's not as hardy, I know that. We'll see what the other ones are doing on the other side. But let me tidy these up. So I'll do this bit up closer. These are mainly 3. As you see, they're pushing up the old rollers. I've cut them back, tidied them up a bit. They're all green inside. There's a little smaller pup there which is green inside, and there's another one here which is nice and green inside, and there's a little one right down the bottom there which I cut back. Sorry, I cut back. You can see it, and it's all green there, so they all seem to be doing okay. See the root, some of the roots are coming out, but they seem to be doing all right. Now, this other one here, green, as you can see. I tidied this up. Sikkimensis. It's all solid. So I've cut the top where it's all soft. So that's all the bananas done, I think. So so far I can say is that the bananas all seem to survive the winter so far, unless a cold snap appears on the horizon. But I do have the fleece available. That's what happened last year. That a couple of nights it went down to minus, and I put the fleece over the top. I don't need to put the insulation on because won't be prolonged. It'll just be maybe a night, and then the day warms up. So yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some, I think, some fish and bone down here, just to do the ground a bit. And yeah, so that's, I mean, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 5, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, possibly 20 bananas potentially. So we see how they do between now and obviously August, end of the summer, see how they go. But that one there, the middle one's about 5 foot. That's the main one. I've had that 2 years. As you see the difference actually between the two. The one at the back maybe a bit more than 6 foot actually. But yeah, so around the back here, I think I showed you around the back. So this is a twin head Trachy or Fortunei, which I got a couple of years back. Not growing as rapidly as others because it doesn't get much of a sun here. This is this Wagnerianus that's doing really well here at the back. This is the back view, and that's the other Trachy Fortunei. That's in a raised bed. Yellow. I'm not too concerned about the yellow leaves because it's just a winter. It needs a bit of warmth, positive feed. This Cordline is a bottomless Cordline. The pot's got no bottom to it. It's got some lilies in there to give it a bit of colour. They're poking through. Here I've got some more pink chinas. Sorry, red dragons here from last year. Japonica, standard Japonica. Got some tomatoes there that just there to rot. And this Fortunei's doing okay here as well. And at the back, looking back, there's all Cordlines at the back. There will be some Crocosmias growing at the back here later on. And in fact, I can see a couple of popping up there anyway now, and there. Do it at the back to give it a bit of colour. And in that bottom part of that raised bed. Oh yes, that was a job for today. Wasn't really planning it, but I thought I was a bit concerned, as I said, in case it gets any fungi or something, because it got too hot. I've got, see the roots are there, so yeah, I don't know how big they're going to grow if they do grow. Quite big last year. this is my first winter with this one, and its other one, which is on the other side, and the one over there, I had 3 of them. I had 4 actually, the other one's in a pot. They're Bengal Reds, Bengal Tigers, can't remember, my apologies. So just going to come out here again. Phormium, no idea which version this is, it really died back a couple of years ago, obviously recovered. Go over here. Salvias are down, salvias down here, they've not appeared just yet. This is a twin head Cordline. These are my £2 Cordlines if you've listened, I've seen my videos before. Yeah, so just walking out here. So these pots are empty right now, I've got to fill them up with a new dirt, new compost, etc. And these are some cannas that are in the pots. Put the tops on so they look like a greenhouse, because it's much warmer now. Yes, so that's bananas. I said I've got all the fleeces, everything's underneath here right now. I don't want to put everything in the garage right now because I'm not ready to do that. So everything's underneath here which will get dry, and I've got fleeces ready in case temperatures drop dramatically. So shall we have a look at the front? So the 2 back Chamaerops at the back are doing well. Got new fronds coming out, there's obviously a dead frond there I'll cut off. Fortunei is doing fine, it's got some older leaves that are just going to die back. Chamaerops, I'll tidy that up, I don't want it shooting from the side. This one, I don't know what's happened here, it suffered a couple of years ago, probably not doing so well, but I'll get another one of those. They're quite common to pick up in garden centres, etc. They're not difficult to get hold of. That suffered a couple of years ago, hasn't really recovered, so I'll dig that out and replace it with one of a similar size. I don't want too big, it'd be a little bit strange, but the others are doing okay. That's growing from the side, I want to control that. This one's growing up, that one's growing up with some shoots on the side. I'll cut them off, I don't want them growing on the side. Some ferns, I don't know what the ferns are, they're the ones that you get from B&Q or somewhere, home base, well home base are gone now. And this Trachy, it's 2 years he's been in the ground. Year 1 sleep, year 2 creep, is that right? Shooting out fronds, it gets a lot of sun here in the morning. And I've got to tidy up these old leaves, they're from somebody's tree or something. But that's the front, not too much exciting really. I know the fronds are different colours because that's slight winter damage when they're opening up. I said just needs some heat on it, consistent heat, and a bit of feed. And that's really what's going on for me in my garden right now. Everything is probably preparing everything. We'll get rid of all that stuff. But you see, the thing is with this fibre, this insulation, this plastic insulation, is that I used it last year, and I'll use it again, and I'll probably have to buy more because I probably have more bananas. But once they dry out, they're fine, and I use it again. I didn't go down the road of using a straw hay or whatever, because you've got to get rid of it, and I have no idea how you can get rid of it. There'll be loads of it. So this is buy it once and use it again and again, and add to it as and when. And the fleeces, the fleece bags are good because you can cover 3 or 4 at the same time. So yeah, so this is the first one I unwrapped yesterday. It looked a bit sorry for itself. It's dried out, but it's got green. It is green, so it just needs time to recover like they all do. And then hopefully next time the bar will be open and it will be cleaned and things in place like the cannas. I've got a new range of cannas. Like I said, I suffered from the virus last year. I don't know which plant started it. Canary palm, that seems to be okay so far. Won't know until a bit later on if you've got any winter damage, but it's growing. It was growing when I wrapped it up actually. But I've had that a couple of years now in a pot on wheels because it's heavy. So appreciate you watching, and any comments please do. I said it's not the most exciting thing today, just unwrapping the bananas. I think it may rain, which is good I think, but I said I may put some bone meal down where the bananas are and just give it a little feed to get it started, kick it into gear. So it is much warmer now, it's 22 degrees right now. Okay, so see you later, thanks very much. So this is Sunday the 23rd, and the day after I unwrapped my bananas, and it's 14 degrees and it's about midday. Last night it did rain, it actually poured down. So what I did, because I'm not too sure if getting too wet is a problem, I really don't know. It didn't freeze. So what I did, I put my Sikkimensis under the canopy. I wheeled it back under the canopy to keep it dry in case there was an issue. And I had a look at it this morning, and there is, I don't know if you can see, but here too clearly, but there is some green. I don't know if you can see it if the camera picks it up, but there is some green around there on that one. But I am a bit concerned about the Sikkimensis, all of them actually. It's the first year with them. I know they're not as hardy, but I treated them the same as my other bananas. This one here, when it rained last night, before it started raining, I put a loose fleece over it and put a plastic bag to keep the rain off, because I weren't too sure if the wet will make it even worse. I've cut it back this morning, and I can't see much going on there, so but it feels firm. Obviously my bananas have got green bits in there. I cut them back this morning. As you can see, it's all green. Rollers are coming undone on there and on there. If I go around this side, this pup is really pushing out his roller here, and that was another one from a different angle, and another one from a different angle, and another one from a different angle. So these are the pups. These pups are green, I can see. I gave it a little trim, but this Sikkimensis here, I'm not too sure. It still feels firm. It still feels a bit firm, but there's no green there. That's one. The other one, I had to cut back a bit more today because it was, the top was leaning. I think I may have done that when I put the fleece on last night. And again, I just moved this here, and again I don't know. It feels firm when I touch it. These are the bananas the next day. So the rollers are trying to come out. So I don't think there's any issues there, to be honest with you. So have a look at the other Sikkimensis over here. Just go through the waggy. And this is the other one. So I'm not too sure. I mean, there's green underneath there. It feels firm. Plus it's my first year with them, and they're the other ones. So the rollers are coming out. I don't think there's any issues with those. Come out of there. As I said, it did pour down the rain last night. I thought it was going to be a little drizzle, but it poured down. So I came out and put the fleece on all three Sikkimensis, and I put plastic bags over them. I'm not too sure if the water will damage any of these. I know it's not going to freeze. I also repotted the spider's web 1 and 2. That one was looking not so healthy, so I repotted them anyway. Helps keep the slugs off. I do get attacked by the slugs because the leaves are always on the ground, touching the ground. And I managed to fill 3 pots with some dirt, but I've run out of some of the multi-purpose compost. I've only got the other 2, but I normally do a mix of 3. See all the dirt on the ground there. So yeah, so I have no experience with a Sikkimensis. I don't know if I guess could go in the canopy, whether or not those 3 are going to survive or not. But I did treat them exactly the same as my other bananas. Should I have treated them with a bit more protection? But so this one here is definitely showing, I don't know if the camera will zoom in, but it's definitely showing some green. The other 3 aren't, so I have to wait and see, I guess, when the weather improves. It's supposed to I think it's supposed to rain a bit later on, so I'll put there's my plastic bags, there's 2 that I put on top of the small Sikkimensis. Do I need to keep them dry? It's not freezing, it's not going to freeze, but I did that just in case. Yeah, so that's what I did today. Repotted some of the spider's web, 2 of them, put some dirt in the pots ready for the cannas later on, and tidied up the bananas by cutting some more tops off to help them rollers come out, and just have a look at those growth. So, anyone got any experience with Sikkimensis, whether or not they look no good, or do I have just to wait? They're wait and see when the sun comes out and it gets much warmer. Because they all came out last year, but they weren't particularly big. The one in the pot came up last year, again wasn't particularly big because it was the first year. So anyway, that was what I did this morning. Okie doke, thanks again for watching.